Hi English literature learners, are you preparing for UG TRB English exam or other English literature examinations? Then this video is for you. நீங்கள் BA, MA English படிக்கலாம், UGC NET TNCT exam படிக்கலாம். உங்கள் சிலபஸில் இந்த டாபிக் இருந்ததுன்னா இது உங்களுக்காக தான். Today let's learn 25 MCQs on Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. UG TRB syllabusல Unit 5 American Literature அதில் செகண்ட் செக்ஷன் poetry section நான் டீட்டெயில்டு ஸ்டடியில் இருக்கிற poem தான் Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. அதிலிருந்து few questions நாம் லேர்ன் பண்ணலாம். Now let's dive into today's session. What primary literary illusion or biblical allusions forms the title and core conceit of Sylvia Plath's poem Lady Lazarus? The resurrection of Lazarus of Bethany by Jesus. The poem draws directly from the biblical narrative in John 11 where Lazarus is resurrected from the dead, using it as an extended metaphor for the speaker's repeated suicide attempts and reawakenings. Next question is, in Lady Lazarus, the speaker states that she manages to perform her dying act once every how many years? 10 years. The speaker explicitly mentions, I have done it again. 1 year in 10. I manage it, referencing her cyclical pattern of suicide attempts. Next question is, how old is the speaker in Lady Lazarus at the time of writing or speaking the poem? 30 years old. The line, I am only 30, indicates her current age, aligning with Plath's own age when composing her aerial poems. Next question is, Plath compares her face to what item in the opening stanzas to evoke Holocaust imagery? A Jewish linen. The speaker describes her face as a fine Jewish linen, immediately establishing the Holocaust imagery extended throughout the poem. Next question. What figure does the speaker explicitly address as her doctor and her enemy? The oppressive male figure, doctor, oppressor. The German titles her doctor and her enemy conflate the medical figures who revive her with Nazi persecutors and patriarchal authority. Next question is, what metaphorical event is described as a theatrical perform with a peanut crunching crowd? Her return to life and public exposure. Plath frames her survival and medical strip trees as a voyeuristic circus show for a crowd that objectifies her suffering. Next question is, which animal comparison does the speaker make regarding her ability to die multiple times? A cat. The speaker states, and like the cat, I have 9 times to die, using the common folklore of a cat's 9 lives. Next question is, what is the primary poetic form and stanza-like structure of Lady Lazarus? Tercets, 3-line stanzas in free verse. The poem is composed of 28 unrhymed or slant-rhymed tercets, giving it a rhythmic terse momentum. Next question is, what charge or fee does the speaker say there is for the big strip cheese? A large charge for viewing her scars and heart. Plath writes, there is a charge for the eyeing of my scars, there is a charge for the hearing of my heart, highlighting the commodification of her pain. Next question is, how does the speaker characterize her skill at dying? As an art done exceptionally well. The famous line, dying is an art, like everything else, I do it exceptionally well, frames suicide and suffering as a masterful artistic achievement. Next question is, what happens to the speaker at the end of the poem as she rises from the ash? She rises with red hair and eats men like her. The concluding lines state, out of the ash I rise with my red hair and I eat men like her, marking a vengeful demonic rebirth. Next question is, which mythical creature's rebirth is directly evoked in the closing lines of Lady Lazarus? The phoenix. rising out of the ash directly references the phoenix myth, symbolizing rebirth from destruction. Next question is, what remains of the speaker after she is burned to ash by her oppressors? A cake of soap, a wedding ring, and a gold filling. Plath lists a cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling, referencing items harvested from Nazi concentration camp victims. Next question is, which poetry collection by Sylvia Plath features Lady Lazarus? Ariel. Lady Lazarus was composed in late 1962 and published posthumously in Plath's famous 1965 collection Ariel. Next question is, in Lady Lazarus, the speaker describes her first suicide attempt at age 10 as what? An accident. Plath states, the first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident, distinguishing it from later deliberate attempts. Next question is, what movement in 20th century American poetry is Sylvia Plath primarily associated with as exemplified in Lady Lazarus? Confessional poetry. Plath is a major figure in confessional poetry, characterized by raw, personal exploration of psychological trauma, suicide, and identity. Next question is, which tone best describes the speaker's voice in Lady Lazarus? Sarcastic, defiant, and satanic. The speaker uses fierce irony, biting sarcasm, and defiance to confront medical authority and patriarchal oppression. Next question is, what does the line I tan and ban signify in the poem's sequence? The speaker's incineration into ash. This line transitions the speaker into the victim of destruction or cremation before her eventual phoenix-like resurrection. Next question is, what critical term describes Plath's artistic strategy of linking personal psychological drama with historical atrocities like the Holocaust, transposition of personal history onto collective history? Plath uses the Holocaust as an objective correlative or grand metaphor to amplify her subjective internal torment and feeling of persecution. Next question is, what is the function of repetition in lines such as there is a charge, there is a charge? To emphasize the commercial exploitation of her suffering. Anabora and repetition stress the relentless, voyeuristic, and predatory commodification of her private agony. Next question is, which two figures are combined into her God, her Lucifer, near the end of poem? Opposing spiritual forces united as patriarchal oppressors. By addressing both God and Lucifer with the German title Herr, she equates divine and demonic male figures as equal partners in her oppression. Next question is, what object does the speaker mention being saved from the sea during her second suicide attempt? They had to call and scoop me sea worms off me. The text explicitly states they had to call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls after she was pulled from a shut-in space or water metaphor. Next question is, in the poem, what makes dying an art according to the speaker? She does it so intensely that it feels real. Plath writes, I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you would say I have a call. Her commitment to the experience elevates it to art. Next question is, what role does the spectator play in Lady Lazarus? A voyeur who consumes speaker's pain for entertainment. The crowd consumes her private agony as a public spectacle, embodying society's morbid curiosity with female suffering. Next question is, what is the ultimate message of the speaker's warning? Beware, beware, near the poem's conclusion. A menace to patriarchal authority that her destruction will lead to retribution. The warning precedes her resurrection as a vengeful entity who eats men like her, threatening the men who reduced her to an object. 25 questions are over. If you go through these 25 questions, you will be able to understand the concept. If you have any questions regarding English literature, feel free to ask in the comment section. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned to this channel to expand your knowledge of English literature. If you like this video, like, share and subscribe. I have given my Telegram channel link in the description box. If you want notes, you can make use of it.